Thank you for checking out my review for One True Loves, the new movie starring Simu Liu from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Phillipa Soo from Broadway's Hamilton, and Luke Bracey from that Point Break remake. I'm Anthony with themovieblog.com, and this is my review. Now, One True Loves is a modern twist on a classic love story from New York Times bestselling author Taylor Jenkins Reid. Emma and Jesse are living the perfect life together until Jesse disappears in a tragic helicopter crash on their first wedding anniversary. Now, 4 years later, Emma has found happiness again and is about to marry her best friend when Jesse resurfaces, and it turns her world upside down and leaves her torn between her two great loves. This is one of those movies that's for everybody who's ever been trapped in the friend zone. Yes, this movie is for you. You. As usual, let's start off with the good. Now, the premise of this story is just downright mesmerizing. I just instantly found myself relating to a situation I've never even been in, just based off of the concept. Like, what would you do if you were married, that person died, and then you met someone else just to find out that dead spouse of yours isn't dead and wants you back, right? That's an instant conundrum that I think anybody can empathize with, even if we can't directly relate. I love the story concept so much. It's just really, really powerful, and I had a good time seeing this romance between Emma and Jesse develop. I also really enjoyed seeing this love triangle with Emma, Jesse, and Sam, and all of the emotional conflicts that come within Emma's heart. There's just so much to consider with this story, especially with the passage of time. Her husband is missing for years, so really, what's the correct way to react when he suddenly reappears and wants her back? One True Loves starts off really strong, and I tip my hat to the production team for some really strong direction and some great performances. The movie starts off really strong and gives us a great view of Emma and Jesse's perfect life. Now, this is the type of life that people dream of when you're young. An endless vacation around the world with the person you love. I had a lot of fun watching Emma's love triangle develop with Jesse and Sam. One True Loves quickly brings up to speed Emma and Jesse's high school romance. It grows organically and it continues into adulthood, and it results in marriage. I really feel great about their romance, and I understand their attraction in a relatable way. One True Loves excels at being a romantic comedy with extra emphasis on the comedy. There's no surprise with this, as director Andy Fickman has a history of directing comedic films, and the cast in this movie is very adaptable. Sam, who's played by Simu Liu, is really, really funny in this movie and delivers some of the best jokes and visual gags in the entire film. You could carve out his moments in the movie and have a believable, funny sitcom all by himself, but we get a sitcom in a movie. Michaela Conlon plays Emma's sister Marie and makes for a great 1-2 combo of comedy with Sam. She brings some well-timed, dry humor and injects them into some otherwise emotionally heavy moments. There's a scene in the movie where she just does this weird, awkward apology to her sister Emma for convincing her to give up on her dead husband that had me in tears. Now, as usual, with everything that's good about a film, there's always something that falls under the bad. The editing was rough. Like, there's moments in the movie where scenes only last for a few seconds before transitioning to another scene. Unfortunately, the actors are really giving some incredible performances that seem to be cut short. A few moments are really touching, and they hit on some deep emotions that could be explored further, but they're not. What undercuts this transition is that these scenes are really sad, and they cut away to something that is like a quick gag and then switch back to the heavy emotion. The movie could have used some more time to let Phillipa do her thing, because she was on it in this movie. Some of the jokes also don't land as well as intended. It's a combination of bad editing and some poorly delivered humor. There's a moment where we see Sam walk into a teacher's lounge at his job in a predictable joke, and again, what undercuts this is that we're breaking away from a more deeply emotional moment, and it's not a smooth transition at all. Overall, One True Loves is an adorably funny movie that had me laughing throughout the film. Phillipa Soo is outstanding in this movie and flexes a lot of emotional range in her performance. I would have loved to have seen more of her scenes extended a bit longer. There's just too many moments where Phillipa is acting her ass off, but then these scenes get cut short. Simu Liu is a highlight and delivers some of the funniest moments in the movie. I would have liked to understand how this music teacher could just hijack his students for any given reason. This happened a lot throughout the film. One moment, he's using them to impress Emma on a date at night without any of their parents being present. And another moment, he's unloading his emotional dilemma on his class in the middle of the school day and encouraging them to cut class to listen to him talk. I also just can't help but wonder why Simu Liu's Sam didn't have any adult friends of his own to talk to. This is a little weird that he's only able to vent to his students and he doesn't have any peers of his own. My overall feelings about One True Loves is, for the acting, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 7. Phillipa Soo really steals the show with her performances, and Simu Liu delivers some really cool punchlines and jokes. I really enjoyed his humor in this film. The cinematography and visual effects, I'm going to give that a 5, mainly because there's nothing really super excellent about this, but it's also just not subpar either. It's a little bit in the average range. For the plot and screenplay, I'm going to give this one a 7, mainly because the concept itself is so entrapping. Like, how can you not want to learn more about this story? The setting and theme, I'm going to give a 6, mainly because there's just not a lot to the setting that really stood out. It seems like it was just shot in location in one place, and they just used that set to recreate other places. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just not visually stimulating enough. Watchability, I give this one a 6, mainly because the editing in the film just makes it a little tough to get through some of the moments, especially when they are undercutting some really emotionally heavy moments with humor. And that also affects the rewatchability, which I give a 5. I enjoyed watching it the first time, but it makes it a little difficult for me to want to watch it again. Overall, I'm giving One True Loves a 6 out of 10. I do recommend it for those who are fans of Simu Liu and Phillipa Soo and want to see some more of them together and enjoy a good, decent romantic comedy. But if that's not your niche, then I can't recommend this to you. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. Again, this is Anthony with themovieblog.com. Hey, if you're new here and you like these videos, do me a big favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to have to check you guys later. Peace.